little adjustment, just a second to make sure everything is fine. Okay, apparently they told me that now it's better. Okay, so here we are today for our webinar talking about a Ninja Total machine. That is one of the most best-selling equipment we have. And obviously, as the name says, is one of the most complete machines. Okay, just a few words on this. I would like to say that our situation with COVID now is getting better and better, and we are almost ready to fully continue. Just two short notes on this machine. There is a shield that is a safety procedure that in this case is disabled only for the sake of good pictures. So this is a Ninja Total machine. It's a machine that have the possibility to decode and cut many type of keys, and has been upgraded last year with a latest software version and a new powerful CPU that is the Leica X. Now I will leave to Massimo to go into the details of this machine. Here we go back live with the images. Massimo, I leave it to you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's start. Here is the machine. The machine is made about describing two stations. The left station for flat keys. For flat keys, I mean residential keys, and also double side. Instead, in the right side, we can cut dimple keys and also flat laser keys for the car keys. We have here we can decode with the machine, and in the two different stations we have the tracers where we can decode the machine. On the flat station, we have the tracer here in this position that you can take out from its position, and in the right side where you can cut dimple key and laser key, we have the another tracer, and this tracer is made from two other two tracer, one that is cylindric tracer to decode car keys, and we have also the conic tracer to decode the dimple keys. Here is the main menu of the machine, where the first icon I can show you is the copy function. This machine, only for the flat side, has the opportunity to make a direct copy of the key. So we can insert one flat key or residential key or car keys, and we can make the direct of the key. So we just have to insert the original key in the jaw. So we insert the key in the jaw. This key is a rear stop. So we have the caliper here that give the correct position of the key blank. Then we have just to press on copy and extract the tracer tower, and the tracer will decode the key. So we'll read all the key from the rear stop to the tip of the key. So we press copy, we will see what the machine will do. As you can see, the machine now is reading the key, but is reading all the key because in the tracer we have a linear sensor that will read exactly how is made the key, all the depths of the key. One is the machine will show you on the screen, on the console, the track of the key. So if you can see, the track is the same of the original key. Here, since it's just is the copy of the key, you can press on cut and you will cut directly the key. So you have to put the new key blank and cut the key. In this menu, you can also save the key in the archive, or you can also cut more copy of the key. In this, with this function, you make the same function of the of mechanical machine. So it's like you make a copy, a perfect copy of the key with also if the key is worn out, you will make the same copy of the key. Here you can also with this icon, you can also change the material of the key blank. So if the blank is in brass, or is steel, is a nickel, silver, aluminum, you can change the material of the key, and automatically the machine will change the speed of the cutter and the speed of the movement of the axis. As I told you, if you press on save, you can save the key in the archive. So if customer, for example, can call you, you have, if you have the data of the customer, you can cut the key without any problem. For example, I show you, we press on save, we write something, for example, webinar, save, we return in the main menu, we enter in archive, and here we have the key blank that we save, we press on next, and here is the key, we press on next again, and we in the key that we make, where we make the copy. Always in this side, if we don't want to make the copy, but we want to decode the key, we have the possibility to decode the key. And to decode the key, we have to give some information of the machine. So we press on search, and here we can, we have another menu, the menu of search, where we can search the key by cylinder name or key blanks. In this case, we can enter by key blanks. So we give the information of the machine that the key that we will cut is a key line blank, is the ADU1. We press on next. We will see the image of the key blank. Then we press on next. And the software will tell you have to do. So you have to use the DO N01, side B, and stop 0. So we can move on. The jaw. The jaw have 4 sides. Side for the flat key, for the residential key, and 2 sides for the car keys. The machine tell us side B, so we open the jaw, turn the jaw to put the key on, the jaw on side B. We insert the key blank. The machine here has the red line. The machine here has the red line where we can see where is the stop, the correct position of the key blank in the jaw. We take out the tower, and now the machine doesn't read as before. The key move in the correct position where the depth of the cutting. In the software, all the database of the key blank. So have the machine know the position of the step and also the depth of the cutting. Now we press on next, and the machine will start decode the key. Now the machine is decoding the key blank. Now, after finish, the machine arrive in the, will show you the, arrive in the menu where you can see the depth of the key blank, and if the machine find the code, the machine will show you also the code of the keys. Now we can press on next, and you arrive in the cutting menu, where as before the machine will tell you all which jaw to use, which side of the jaw, and also which stop to use. So side B and stop 0. And also here you can change the material of the key blank. So the machine automatically will change the speed of the axis movement, and also the speed of the cutter. So we now change the key blank, and we will put the key blank that we want to cut. For example, if you make an error throughout the, for example, the tower, the software will advise you with that you have to move the tracer tower in the correct. So now we press on cut. The machine will cut the key. We cut the key blank. So in this case, cut the key blank by decode. Now I show you if you want to cut, if you like to cut car keys, flat car keys, for example, this one, that is a Toyota keys. You have the same option, so you can enter by search. You can enter by You can enter by key blank, or you can enter by the name of the vehicle. In this case, we can enter again by key blanks. We can enter key line, key blanks, that is TR47U. Here we have the key blank. We can press on next. Here we can also decode the key, or for example, we can insert the indirect code, or we actually the depth of the key. In this case, insert the code. So this key has the code 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. The machine will show you the correct depth of the key blank. And if you press on next, you arrive always in the cutting menu, where the machine will show you how you have to put the key, to insert the key in the jaw. So in this case, the machine jaw N01, side C, stop is the stop 4, so means that is the latest one in the jaw. But also the machine will show you this image, that is a tweak, where the machine will show you to put the key in the O, and here you can see also the profile of the key. So I show you to insert the key. So you have to turn in the correct position. So we have to put the jaw in side C, insert the key blank, and then, as I told you before, the stop is stop 4, so means that is in the tip. You have to put the tool. You have to use one tool to put the key, to stop the key in the correct position. Then you press on cut, and you will cut the key blank. Okay, now we move in another menu. When we are here, you see that there are the star there and the pencil with a note. And here you can, if you want, you can select these two icons, and you will save. If you press the star, you will save the system of this key in your bookmarks. Instead, if you press on the pencil with the note, you will save some notes for this system. So I show you. If you press on the star, you can save in the favorite this system. So you can press, for example, you can write, for example, Toyota. U, that is key line. You press on next, save custom information, you press on next. Okay, now you see the star is now black, so means that you save this system, so the system of Toyota keys in the this card in the favorite. So every time you want to cut this key blank, you don't have to enter in key blanks or vehicles, but you have the key saved in the bookmarks. Instead, if you press on the pencil with the note, you can write, for example, that here you have to use always brass key or alpaca key or the note that you want. For example, I can write brass. Keys, press on next. Yes. And here you see the pencil now is black. So if we return to the home menu and we press on favorites, you see that we have the Toyota that I saved before. And if you press on next, you see that also the pencil is black. So that means that you have some notes here. So if you see, the notes tell you that you have to use always brass key. And when you save the key or the system in the favorite, you don't have to every time enter insert key blanks TR47U, but you just have to press favorite, select the favorite you save, press on next, and you are in the cutting menu. Okay. Now we in the other station, so I will show you to cut one dimple key and one laser key. And we will use the station on the right side. So we can enter by cylinder, ABUS, press on next. We select the ABUS AC550. If you select cylinder and you select this kind of key because you know the name of the system. If you don't know the name of the system, but for example, you know only the key blank, you can enter directly by key blank. If you know that this, for example, this key is ABUS AC550, you can enter directly the cylinder and system name. Okay, so I select, I press on next. Arrive always in the menu where you can decide how you would like to cut the key. I select on decode, and the machine will tell you everything. So will tell you which jaw you have to use. So the jaw C30, side 0, and stop 0. Stop 0 means that the key has the rear stop. So here you see the red line where you have to stop the key in the jaw. If, for example, the key is has the tip stop, the red line will be in the opposite side. So now we move on the jaw. We insert the key blank in the jaw. We the tracer tower, and as I told you before, we have in the tracer tower here we have two for the keys and one for the laser keys. So we press on next, and the machine will start to decode the key. I remove the key blank. Now we can return on the software, and the machine finish to decode. And here you will see the depth of the key that we just decode. And here we can see also the indirect code of the key. And this indirect code is the code that usually the end customer has in the card. So if the customer arrive in the shop without key blanks but has the card with the indirect code, the machine permits you to enter by code, insert the code, and cut the code of and cut the key with the indirect code. Then, for example, in this case, we enter by cylinder and system name, and if we don't know exactly which key blank we have to use, we can just press here on key blank, and the machine will show you some manufacturer produce the key blank and show you the different reference of the key blank. For example, key line has ABU 47. We press on next. We show you the blank with also the profile. We press on next. So now here appear also the key blank reference. Then we press on next, and we arrive in the cutting menu. Here, like in the other menu, we have some information of in the screen. So we have the cutter that we can use, the material of the key, the jaw, how you have to put the key in the jaw, and then we have also this other icon with the image with the jaw and the glasses. This means that the machine, in this case, the machine will control if the jaw is installed is the correct one. If you press on the image and you see one X in this image, in the icon, means that you told the machine that install is the correct jaw, so the machine doesn't verify or control the jaw, but goes directly to cut. This option you can use if you are sure to have insert the correct jaw, or for example, if you have to cut a lot of key and you have to save a little of time, so the machine goes directly to cut instead to verify every time if the jaw installed is the correct one. So now I will insert the key blank I will show you how the machine cuts. Okay, if you can see, the machine during the cutting will make a little of movement. The axis is moved because the machine is making an interpolation. This means that with a cutter we can cut more different systems because the machine will move the carriage to make the correct hole of the key. Okay, thank you. So now the machine will tell you to turn the key 180 degrees. So we turn the key, we press on OK, and the machine will cut the second side of the key. Okay, let's finish to cut the key, and this key is only two sides. So the machine will tell you to turn the key 0 and 180 degrees. If, for example, you have one dimple key with 4 sides, the machine will tell you to turn from 0 to 90 degrees. To put the key on 90 degrees in the jaw, you have to open the jaw, put the key in this position, and the machine cut the blank also on the 90 degrees. Okay. Now we return on the main menu, and I will show you to cut one laser key, and the laser key we will cut always in the right side station of the machine, and we will see that the machine will guide you with step by step what you have to do to cut one key if you pass from the dimple key to the laser key. So for example, we enter in search, vehicles, we enter on Volkswagen, we enter on Golf, next. So we select the year, so it's 2000 to 2013. If you know that, for example, Volkswagen is E-line blanks 466U, you can enter directly by blank. Now we press on next, and you arrive always here. So we can decide to cut the key by decode, and the machine will tell you to insert the jaw, to use the jaw A03 and stop 0. If you press on next, the machine will guide you step by step what you have to do. So the machine will tell you to remove the jaw, so we remove the jaw C30. We press on OK, and the machine will tell you to install the jaw A03. So we install the jaw A03, and we have to put the jaw till the correct position in the rear stop of. We close the jaw A03. We press on OK. The machine will tell you to remove the cutter, because the machine remember that before we cut one dimple key, so in the machine is installed the cutter for the dimple key. To remove the cutter is very easy. You have just to press this knob and turn this knob, the other knob up, and you remove the cutter. You insert the correct cutter for the laser key. So you insert the cutter in the spindle, and the same, you push the cutter, you push the knob in the top of the spindle, and now the cutter, the correct cutter is inserted. We press on OK. The machine tells you to extract the tracer tower, and the machine in this case will use the the tracer for the laser key. We insert the key blank. We press on OK. And the machine will start to decode. As you can see now, the machine is reading the key blank with electrical contact with the tracer. And now it's finished, and the machine will show you in the software that the decode is complete. We show you the depth of the key blank of the key, and also the indirect code of the key. Now, if you press here in key blank, the machine will show you also the key blank that you have to use to cut this kind of key. Then here there are also some other options that you can, for example, work on the key blank, or for example, the customer lose all the key blank, and you are able to remove the lock from the door, and you are able to read the plate inside the lock, or you have a leashy tool or some tools that you are able to read the depth of the in the lock, but you miss some depths. For example, we miss one depth here. The machine is able to tell you, if you press on find code, the machine is able to tell you which is the code or the codes that have these direct depths. So now I cancel here the one depth, I put one question mark, and if I press on find code, the machine will start to check which are the codes or the code that have these depths. So we show you that with these depths, the software find only one code. So we can press on next, and the machine will show you the depth that was missing and the code that the machine find in the database. So now we press on next. We arrive in the cutting menu, and here, as before, the machine will show you which cutter you have to use. So the B003 that we mount before, the material of the key, and the jaw, and the stop 0, that means that is the rear stop, and the icon to recognize or skip the jaw recognition. So now we insert the key. We retract the tracer tower. We press on cut. And the machine will to cut the key. Okay, now the machine has finished to cut the key. So if you press, now you have to turn the key 180 degrees and press on OK, and the machine will cut also the second side. But I will show you some other tuning or function on the software. Now we return on the main menu, and I would like to show you the advanced search, where if you press on advanced search, you can insert some different information of the machine in the machine to permit you to be faster and easier to find the key that you want to cut. So you can insert, for example, the key type, the cylinder, the system name, if you have the number of cuts, if you have the code, or for example, if you know the manufacturer of the key blank, you can insert here different information to be faster to cut and find the blank. For example, here key type is, for example, dimple key. Cylinder is, for example, ABUS. System name, for example, is ABUS 1000, for example, and you press on next, and the machine will show you that there is only one system with the ABUS 1000. You press on next, and you will cut you arrive in the menu where you can decide how you want to cut the key blank. Then, as I told you before, we can save the key, and you can save the key you can find the key that you save in the archive. So you press here in archive, and you have the blank that you save. And also here in the archive, you can have you have the possibility to create different card, or to modify a different card of that already are in the software. What I mean that you can create, for example, new card wizard. You can create different kind of dimple key or different kind of flat keys. You can't create a card for the laser keys. Okay, always in the archive, you can find also the engraving function, because this machine with a different jaw permit you to engrave the head of the key, and you can engrave the head of the key from this menu, pressing on engraving, or you can engrave directly the head from the cutting menu. So you press on engraving, and here you will see the head of the key, and here is right key line, but you can write what you want. You can engrave also the direct code, the indirect code of the key of the key blank. And to engrave the key, you have to use this kind of jaw. That is an optional jaw, is the C25, and you have just to put the key blank in this position, and you see, for example, this key is already engraved. You can put the blank and engrave the key blank. The jaw permits you also to engrave some small metal, but the engraving area is this one.
Massimo, I have a question here about
Yes.
engraving. Can I engrave any type of keys?
You can engrave the keys that stay in this area. So you can engrave a lot of type of key. The important that the head stay in this area, in the jaw.
And I will add metal keys.
Yes, metal
obviously.
keys, not plastic keys important that the key is in metal.
Okay, another question. This is actually a double one. Can this machine cut special keys like ASA, genuine ASA? And the second part is even if they are hard metal keys, because some colleagues find difficulties and the cutters wear out quickly with these hard
Yes,
metal keys.
we have a dedicated cutter for example, for alpaca keys. That is called F02 cutter. That this is the standard cutter, is the F01. We have the F02 cutter that permit you to cut alpaca key, and also, as I show you in the before, for example, I select for example, ASA keys, and I arrive in the cutting menu. If you press here, you see that you can select nickel silver speed, and the nickel silver with the specific cutter, you will cut without problem also alpaca keys. If customer we can also in the software have a customized speed. So the end customer can change the speed and create a specific custom speed.
We have a question then about how to create your own card with a key maker. You show the wizard, but can you give a little bit of more details? Obviously, in this type of webinar that is general, we will not go into the details, but maybe we will prepare, or if you leave us at the end your email, we will give you further explanation. But can you show again this important feature of the key maker?
Archive, card maker. You can modify here. You can modify an existing card, or you can create a new card. For example, if it's flat keys, you can here insert you can modify the blank, so you can insert all the data of the blank. Then, if you want, you can insert all the position of the step, or if you want, you can insert all the different depths of the blank. And this you can do in the flat keys, one side or double side. And if you want, you can also create for the dimple key. So here we have all the different kind of dimple keys. And the function is the same for the flat keys and also for the dimple keys.
Okay, another question always concerning protected type of keys. So if the machine in the software have several type of protected keys, how to use it?
I show you, for example, I don't know, I can show you DOM keys, for example, that are protected. And you can see that the keys are protected because free keys if you press on the protect system, you press on next, the machine. This means that you have to request to DOM
the permission.
When DOM contact us, for example, and send us that the customer can cut this kind of system, and we in our system just to update the machine, and we'll find the system unlocked. Then if this system requires a specific jaw or specific cutter, the customer has also to buy the specific jaw and specific cutter, because we have a lot of specific jaw for different kind of system.
Okay, so yeah, I also add something commercially. So our software update are including in the machine the possibility to put and to load the protector system. So you don't have to buy the protector system in case you need to have the permission to cut it from the owner of the permission, so the maker, and in case you have to buy some specific cutters or jaws or tracers, depending on the systems. Okay. Another question, does the machine need always to be connected to the internet to make update?
Yeah, to make update, there are two possibilities to make the update or by internet, so the machine need to be, or do the update with the USB pen. So you have just to insert the USB pen in the console, download one file from the console, download, return to the machine and finish the update. From the console, you download the file that permits load the file, the update from our specific website.
So we are almost at the end of our webinar. If you have some other questions, please write it in the chat. And what else we can do about this machine, if we don't have question, is that it's as you understood, is a fully comprehensive machine, very powerful software for every type of cutting, decoding. You have several ways to get there. So you have several shortcuts also to make it faster, like saving your most used keys in the favorite, or skip some functions like redirecting the jaw if you are using always the same, or for the flat keys, the function of copy that we seen at the beginning. So we think is pretty neat machine. New questions? Just go closer to read it. Sorry. Can the machine be used on a van?
Yes, the machine can be used in a van. In the van without any problem. Just use the correct inverter for the supply and nothing else.
And do you have a tubular jaw or T-break cut jaw?
Jaw, and also
Let's see if there is something else. I think not. Anyhow, we are running out of our time, but I ask you all if you want to have some more details on the machines point of view of purchasing, contact your local dealer. If you want some more technical details, you can write in an email at our email address. And hope you enjoyed this presentation. Stay tuned for the next Thursday webinar on the Gincana, that is our top automotive machine. And thank you for being with us. And please stay tuned that we will inform you soon also for webinar for June calendar. We will go on, especially for automotive parts. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.